It's a colorful foresight where we intuitively connect from within. And it's woo woo time where we connect our woo woo into our mundane living. Hello, this is Sylvia, Colorful Foresight. How are you doing? How are you? So, kind of last minute thing. The recap your intuitive scent for 2024. It's about you, right? We're all intuitive. Every single person are intuitive. Don't have to be special. It's just part of our energetic being. Now, if you're psychic, you work at it, or it's more in your life path, da 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 da. So, I've done, let's see, what the remaining of 2024. Let's see, hopefully somebody shows up and we'll collaborate. Also, you could always put in a comment. So, let's see. The card, the deck I got, which I rarely ever use, is the Unfolding Path Tarot, for some reason, by Athene Noctua, I think. Look at the bottom of the box. Isn't that cool? Beautiful illustration. Want to see who the illustrator. The cover design and cover art. Okay, the cover design, Julie Davison. Cover art, Athene Noctua. So it seemed like a collaboration thing. Or maybe the illustrator in here. I guess we'll go into creativity. Oh, interior design is Julie Davison. Interior illustration, Athene Noctua. So not only is she the card creator, she's an illustrator. These are beautiful. What I like is very diverse, race, the like modern world theme, the way they dress is more modern and things like that. So we're going to see more into it. So I did a video with several people in February. Let me see. Let me show it to you. Maybe I could randomly pick in there and go from there. Just winging it. Collective vibe for the year 2024. Collective vibe for the year 2024 with Heather of Soul Alchemy, with Indigo Jaguar, me, Colorful Foresight. Then you got Patti of Coaching for Inspiration, and then we got Shari from Voicing from the Swamp. This was done in February of 2024. So I don't know if I should show from the beginning or just kind of randomly pick. So I'm going to randomly pick, and then we'll go from there. So you could shuffle your card, or if you're getting an insight, you can add it in a comment, or in a comment after the video, or while live, put it in a comment in the chat.
From the swamp. I am a
So everybody's introducing themselves.
The important. Everything I've read.
Okay, let's see.
Cards. And the ones that I drew was Jesus, which talks about acts of service. It's a reminder that we're here to help one another, to service one another. That includes being kind. And I also pulled Lady Venus, which is what is termed in the book as light activation. But basically what she's talking about is a call to service. It's our time to stand up and step out. And then I pulled, and this one really hit me close to home, Green Tara, which is healing light. As someone who's been sick all week, I have appreciated every single prayer and energy shot and Reiki sent my way this past week from friends across the board, helping me get better faster. And it's truly appreciated. But I think rolling it all together is we're being called in action to service each other.
That's interesting. An action to be service of each other. So, before we go further, just want to let you know they're not here to speak for themselves. So anything new I add is only from me. Me and you. not from my guests. So they said what they said. I'll put the original video in the description later. And just to know, Colorful Foresight, where we truly connect from within, please put your intuition hat on. And this is for your entertainment purposes only. All of it. So service to others, what a great reminder. And what came to me politically? Having a potential American female president, of course you want the right and good one, but she seems right considering what the other option. This is why the world are watching, because they know if we have problem with freedom, how it's going to affect them. As much there are other countries that are thriving, and America still like the Coca-Cola. Some Sri Bhagavan, this avatar in India, he said, USA is like Coca-Cola. They drink Coca-Cola, then everybody else drink Coca-Cola. Although in some case, people are doing natural, and then we're catching up in the USA. But we all matter. We're all one. So people are watching what's going on. The energy is in vibration, right? What 3 card I picked up was the Emperor. Beautiful, right? What is this? King of Pentacle and a 9 of Swords. So it talked about service to others. And women are needed because they tend to be better with service to others. But remember, men have both feminine and masculine in them. So the female. The fear of like, wow, we have a female leader, or they're going to be female, going to get rid of men, or like we're going to get, if the world become more non-white, they're going to start attacking the white. We got to get off that idea. Even this idea of if people allowed to be in their sexuality, and there's more LGBTQA1 than straight people. We have to let that go. We have to release that fear. Because if they were to dominate the ism group, that's including a female president, then aren't we being what the other were treating us? So let everybody thrive, and then we work together. So that's the energy going forward for the remaining of 2024. So the female energy is very important, not just for the feminine, obviously very important for here in the USA and around the world, but also the feminine within the masculine. And also the masculine could be healthy and have a healthy masculine feminine, not about, what is that word they use? The masculine energy, right? It's more balanced. That's what I'm getting. So all that fear about the feminine rising and the men are being replaced, we have to let that go. It's about having, and it's not about, we're going to have the female president. In the past, they had to be more masculine in order to fit in with the man's world. For some reason, the pentacle is telling me that having more female leaders will actually help masculine energy male become more well-rounded in a pentacle way, in a physical way. You don't have to be spiritual masculine in order to be that possible. That's what's coming to mind. So we're going to see a lot of that. Okay, so let's go to the next part of the video randomly and see. You let me know in a comment what you got from that. So what the next collective vibe for the remaining of 2024. Let's randomly go. Here's me. Okay. What else? So a lot of us were feeling like that losing of faith, but we're getting restored. Community, things like that. Artificial intelligence could continue to be a topic, but is that what it looks like? Artificial intelligence look like? It could be like the page is stored. So we already know that they're already putting in place a lot of protocol, so we could get on top of it. They're telling me that if we as humanity continue to thrive, we don't have to worry about artificial intelligence because it goes with how who's programming behind it is humanity. So we don't have to worry about that because you know what? Technology, it went way back to even with Tesla back in the early 18, late 1800 or early 1900s. So these things already been out there. Other society that came and went that we don't even know about, they already had advanced technology. There's already ET that using technology. So it's not about being afraid of it. It's depending on how we use it. So it's all about that. So you got to blow that out. We got to focus on the progress. We're not going to pretend that the negative are not there, but we're only focused on that. That's what all we're gonna bring. Um, that's really interesting. I forgot I said that. Okay, that's really interesting. So, of course, there's that danger of artificial intelligence. Already, President Joe Biden and their team, um, if I remember, they have it where they're working on that protocol to make sure it doesn't go out of hand. They're putting that rules and guidance, not just in the USA, but around the world. I think they had a world meeting on it. So we're going to continue that. I get that continuing for the remaining 2024. The fact is, we got to remember, Joe Biden's still president until November, till the next president come to be. Even though Kamala is the headlining, he's still thriving, and the world leader are going to continue to work together. Because if we have a dictator want to become to be one for 2024, that will all alter it, stop, because greedy people don't think clearly. We all have greed in us. I'm getting reminded by Spirit Guide. We all have shadowy aspect and good and bad in us, so can't just blame it on them because the programmers include we the people that are creating the AI. So let's add more cards. You shuffle and you let me know. Remember, I'm actually spoke in that video, so I could speak on it. But anybody else we see on the video, the remaining from the collective vibe of 2024 video, they're speaking for that particular video. So anything I add in this particular video, the recap video, your intuitive self for 2024, what you and I say does not speak for them. But check it out. Go back and check it out, what was said for 2024. So, about artificial intelligence, change maker, make wave. Also, our attitude about things, how we see things, even when we see the worst of artificial intelligence, for example. But that's including climate change challenge and all that. That would come to mind. We're going to have to handle the challenge at moment. But we also have to not build to bypass, pretend it's not happening, but also go, okay, that's what we got. What solution can we come? So that's what it seems like, more solution oriented. Kind of curious if the leaders are really focusing on more of the climate change, or Joe Biden going to continue with that. Okay, what's your honest truth? So the reason why we got to focus is positively is, why are we just focusing on the negative? The negative are important, right? Because they're there. So we have to say it. It's just like when anything is shown that are out of balance and you report it, it's important. Otherwise, it helps us to see, oh, that's what's happening. Like if you have pollution in the water and stuff like that, if you pretend it, all the water are clean, then so we have to see all of it. I guess it's a well-roundedness to it with the artificial intelligence. Going back to artificial intelligence, there's more on. They already know what the negative could be, but still we don't know because it's evolving. But they're already putting in place. So that's continuing, I guess, for 2024. The good kind. Well, can't make that up. The good kind with artificial intelligence. What's great, what I said in that video, the reminder, like there've been other society that went, maybe that use advanced technology, ET, there are things out there. They're using technology, not for positive. They might have already experienced the negative of artificial intelligence. The universe constantly creating the good kind. Ambush fear with your ferocious dream. So I guess in that video I mentioned we have to look at the bright side, because if we only focus and be ambushed by fear, what is that going to do? So we have continuous solution. That's what came to me. All right. So what else do we have? From the collective vibe for 2024. Let's see, what else did I talk about in here? Affecting the late 80s rockers and things like that start bringing out about the sex in a negative way. So we're going to start seeing more love songs in 2024. So that's kind of nice. I know it's random, but music is going to start cleaning up as well. So love theme is on the rise. Angel theme is on the rise. Remember, like in the late 80s or with the early 90s, we used to have like a lot of angel stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then it became like they made it the opposite. So there's something like preventing that. So that's going to start coming back. I think has to do with, I guess, what's happening astrologically. And because we are going to have more disclosure, not just the average mundane thing, but things that are more mystical in nature, and also ET. But it's not everything's going to happen in 2024. We're just going to see more of it. But it's more like for the next few years. And what else? That's about it. Let's continue. So we're going to have a lot of reconnection, reunion. People are going to find their path again. For some reason, because people felt lost. And they're going to start taking stand for love. So all this love. So even though we're talking about self-love, which Shari bringing about, we're also bringing that, maybe because we're talking about love and faith again for humanity as a whole. And Heather had that card. So let's see who's doing next. So that's interesting. The love vibe, right? For the rest of 2024. There's a lot of positivity coming out from the Kamala campaign. Feel like we've been speeded up to shift the energy of what it was to this is what needed now versus later. It's like how instant things change. And it's just a ripple effect, not only for here, but for around the world. So the love vibe. What else did I mention in there? Music. I mentioned this in other videos. Music changing now, it's all country, but going to continue to do with love. There's a concert called Love Hard by an artist. So more loving lyrics. Not just country, because country could sing interesting lyrics, but it's more soft and mellow. But in other genre, and also more musical, more instrumental, less word, more instrumental. I mean, it seemed more like down the line. I got somebody in a comment, but it's continuing for the remaining of 2024. So cut the cord of doubt. So the love vibe, right? How can I feel loving? I don't feel loving, especially if you're feeling lost. A lot of people are going to feel connected. This Kamala, it's like the Kamala effect from the Joe Biden effect. It's happening in many other ways that we're not aware, because the divine is planting those love bombs, so to speak. Integrate your knowing, and what else we have here? Your soul shines. So it seems like a lot of people who are feeling lost are starting to feel into themselves again. That's including you, Fatima. Whatever that means for each of us, it's going to be a happening. It's kind of like a gift from the universe. Grace, I hope so. Because no matter how many times we try to change the shift, doesn't seem like it, right? Feel stuck like the hangman. So, but create that intention, do things you love as best you can. So, Fatima, we're just kind of going over, like, what do you think, even you with your intuition, what's going to be for the remaining of 2024? So, because nobody was here earlier, I couldn't feed off the energy from like you, because it's all about you doing the video with me. I just picked from a video I did in February with Shari H, Heather from Soul Alchemy, and Patti from the Coaching Inspiration, what their thought was for 2024. So I'm going to show the remaining of that video, and then we'll go from there. And you can shuffle the card or use an oracle card. It's up to you, Fatima. Let's see. Let's randomly go to Heather. What did she have to say?
Flourishing, resourcefulness, and the world which is attainment. So while we are, always going to have, families which is understandably low income who can't really afford, the super nice, art supplies that are eco-friendly and cruelty-free, there are companies still like Crayola and others that are making an effort to put money into resources to look into alternative ways of creating products that are safe and that are healthy for the environment. Next on my list, I went down to art therapy. And art therapy, I got some really good cards. I got Two of Wands, which is exploration, making decisions. So a lot of people are looking more at going to school for art therapy, and especially with their healthcare system for mental health facilities, physical therapies, social work, even for young children. Art therapy is just so important to help people, and I'm sure Patty can get behind that with the life coaching and using creativity to help heal traumatic past wounds, helping with trauma informed individuals, and just really starting to teach kids if they can, to relax, to calm down, to pick up a piece of art. Because even with adults too, it's been shown that when you start to do anything creative, whether it's doodling, coloring in a book, or your blood pressure slows down, your breathing slows, you become more grounded and you feel more calm and centered. I did get, of course, the Two of Wands. I got the Four of Wands, which is recuperation and healing and sanctuary. People are finding this in art again. Two of Cups, partnerships, attractions, emotional bonds being created through art therapy. Page of Pentacles, perfect academics and studious. There's more schools and more programs via not just in universities or.
So Heather talking a lot about shifts in, yeah, Fatima saying, I think things will get better with Kamala take over. I agree. It's a universal push. These are going to be a lot of health breakthroughs. She agrees with that, with what Heather been saying. Remember, again, what I say from here on forward, I'm not speaking for Heather, but I'm commenting, I'm reacting. So, yeah, that could continue. She's feeling that vibe, part of that love vibe shift. Also, aiming to get rid of dictatorship vibe here in the USA and around the world, where they like to suppress our creativity. That would come into my mind. Because if you suppress creativity, you can flow and create and want to create better for humanity. So it really is the bigger picture of why it's important to have freedom for people, but we do need some structure, some law, because otherwise it'd be like the wild, wild west where everybody do whatever. People always saying it's them, the elite, it's the government. It's also we, the people, that need to be contained. Because people in power are just regular human beings. They just happen to have interesting circumstances. Or they're spiritual beings just like us. Okay, fill your cup with sacred giggles. So these, let's continue with that. All she was saying, a possibility in mental health, adding more creativity, like art therapy and things like that. I know that's been, you know, I know a lot of the social service people are adding that in. Choose who you're becoming, and gratitude again. And this does have to do with the quickening of what we see with the Kamala effect, the handing over of Joe Biden, who was the bridger, and that all the world leaders will take that around the world as well. What old is great and what's new is great, but you needed the bridger who are been both old school, new school. Joe Biden been working so long, even though he's old school, he's been keeping up with the time because so that's why he's been a great bipartisanship. He's been creating a lot of bipartisanship deals. The former guy couldn't do that the past 4 years. He never came up with anything because he's all about the past. And Joe's not quite the future, but he was working with Obama, and he's been working well into his old age, so he's been doing both. A lot of us are like that. We're a combination of people my age, 40 up. We're a combination of old school, new school. And Kamala, not so new school. Thank God we don't have somebody 20. She had some wisdom, smart. She's in her 50s, but younger than Joe Biden. So it's not just about her. It's what the energy, what the universe is placing her there for. That can affect the rest of the universe, the rest of the world. I guess the universe too, because what's happened here affect there too. That's why we have ET sometime when they make sure that the crazy leaders don't do nuclear, because it's not just about being nice and help human beings. It's about how it's not that nuclear will affect the rest of the universe. So it's all related. So that's nice to know. Yeah, she's very well educated. It's funny how um, the former guy is using how she's not so smart, and they're putting it out that she's a ding dong. It's very interesting. They're always like very negative with the women, really. And meanwhile, we have very intelligent men, but there are a lot of ding dong men that have led leadership, which the former guy is an example of that. So remember, we are all a ding dong and we're all smart, right? So the spirit guy telling me, let go of the judgment, to see it for what it is. So I'm like, what's the difference between judging? Like, you have to judge. You see, not to put your hand on something, it's hot. The word judgment is not bad. But it's saying, like, you see it for what it is, and it's not so much being neutral, but then judging. Like, you're better than them somehow. Or it's like, I don't know. Let me pull some cards for that. What's the message for it? Because this has to do with the remaining of 2024. So I guess our judgment of what's good and bad. Let people change. There's redemption. Collaboration of soul. We want wellness for all God's children. That's what's coming to me. Now I'm getting all Christian, but a lot of religion, spirituality talks about the source and how we're all God's children, so to speak. You are living poetry. So we're constantly creating. And it's funny because we were talking about, we had that piece with Heather, and all she talked about the creative. She was reading the creativity aspect for 2024. And she's all about poetry. So life is a living poetry. You are living poetry. We're constantly creating. And that's why it's very important to bring creativity back. So, what next? We're going to go forward to, let's see. We're going to go forward to Patti from Coaching of Inspiration.
First card is, I live life to the fullest. I love this card because that's what we want in our life, to inspire us to do that. We kind of put things on the back burner and we forget about what we would like to have. Is it to spend more time with family? Is it to spend time coloring? I love what Heather said about coloring. I do that. I have an app. And I actually use it with my grandchildren. We sit together and we color together, and it's so much fun. And just spending that time letting go and just thinking, not even thinking about anything else, but enjoying the moment. That is important. Just taking time to enjoy each moment throughout your day.
You know, it's interesting. The random pieces I showed from all of our 2024 prediction for 20, between me, Shari was about loving yourself, kindness. I was more about the love vibe, bringing the love vibe. Heather was just talking about more bringing that creativity, and how creativity can also bring wellness to people, not just mentally, but could be physically and all that. And then we picked the piece from Patti about, living to the fullest and using creativity. So 2027, interesting. We'll ask that later. But 2024, the remaining of 2024 is about, well, now we're seeing the shift of the Kamala energy, how things are speeding up. The universe had our side, helping humanity. Okay, change maker, make wave. That was definitely a wave. The handing over from President Joe Biden to Kamala, the shift of the old way, the old white men to female, not just female, black. Because we already technically had a black person, but it happened to be female and black and brown and intelligent. And not only that, she was a VP. Do you know any other president, female, that was a vice president before they became a president? So it's like hitting on many different levels. Overthinking can spoil the magic. That's why creativity is great. You could just be in a moment, as Patti said. And that's when you write poetry, and Heather liked to do, she write poetry, she paints, she liked to do many different things. Helps you be in the moment versus stuck in the brain. Limitation, inspire, innovation. So the universe has been prizing us with innovation. Tower moment. Not always so negative. Tower moment in a good way. Paradigm shift. Sometimes the tower is not always shocking in a negative way, or it's also paradigm shift that could be to the positive. Yeah. So what comes to your mind, Fatima? What are you thinking for the remaining of 2024? She didn't comment. What about you that are watching? What do you think is going to happen for the remaining of 2024? Put it in the comment or put it in the chat. Use your intuition. So again, it's just repeating the love vibe. But this is the Ace of Pentacle. So it's, what is it? Ace of Pentacle. So it's like they're saying, make it physically happen. Let go of the daydreaming. It's good to vision, but make it happen. Do something. Whatever that is for each of you. I have many thoughts in my head, but whatever came to your mind could be as simple as starting painting, walking, hanging out with your friends again. I don't know. Whatever it is, I'm physically taking care of myself better. The love vibe, self-care, maybe connection with other people the best you can. That could be, even if you're limited in resources, find different ways to connect with others. Could be your animals, maybe nature. And this is the Knight of Sword. So cutting through all the old energy or stagnant energy the best you can. Actually, just doing something you like or love will help that. It will help already cut it for you because you're already letting go. Kind of like when we letting go of how how Joe Biden is handing over to Kamala, letting go how things were done as leaders, as president, and still combining old school to new school kind of value. We have to keep sending good energy out there to the universe, yeah. But if we're not feeling so good, that's why they're like focused on not just daydreaming and saying that, but do things in your life that make you feel more like you're getting love in your life, however that shows up for you. So that's all about 2024. I mean, this jump time, this shift of energy the past 2 weeks been very interesting. It's a gift and grace from the universe. Maybe all the prayers being heard. We want to say thank you to that. So anybody want to add anything before I wrap it up? What about you, Fatima? Look, the energy's going fast. We've been feeling that. Fast motion. This card is cool. It's from this deck. The Unfolding Path by Athene, Noctua. I never used it, but it's a modern kind of card. Modern theme, 8 of Wands. Shh. Fatima said, hope for the best and keep praying. I think I'll answer the being prayer. I'll answer being prayer. Our prayer is being answered. Our answered being prayer. I'm curious. Our answer being prayer. How would that work? That's interesting. Anyway, going back with Queen of Sword. The Kamala energy. Cutting through the BS. Her coming into leadership. Very important for here and around the world. She, because of the many awesome leaders around the world, they're all going to help each other, male and female, and everything in between. So we have to do our part, not just leave it to the leaders. We, the people, and the leaders. And we're both coming together, work through our devil card. With the devil, it's about the shadowy aspect or overcoming our shadowy aspect. We got the devil on our shoulder, which could be seen as ego, being stuck, like in our shadowy aspect, to the angel on the shoulder, the possibility, the light to things. So however that means to you, whatever. So one more card before we wrap it up. Let's end it with befriend the world. Wait, that's what I thought, but it's a befriend the word polarize. Oh my God. Befriend the word polarize. I guess we have to be at peace with it, not judge it. How it is polarized. So, yeah. You let me know what you thought about that. So, Fatima, take care. Bye. Bye to you that are watching. You lurker. Positive lurker.